Wrestling Roundup unfortunately learned just after recording last week of the passing of WWE superstar Bray Wyatt. And to honour his memory, we will be starting the show this week with a 10-bell salute and playing a bit of a song for him as well.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
You are now tuned in to the world's greatest.
Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and NPR. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
We got Payback coming up this weekend. 6 matches announced as of time of recording, and as always, before a premium live event, we sit down and we take a look at all of them. So let's start off LA Knight, The Miz, a nice classic singles match after I guess LA Knight has made fun of The Miz. The Miz made fun of LA Knight. Been quite an entertaining feud.
Yeah. It's definitely, as you said, it's been an entertaining feud. Miz is at his best when he gets the chance to mock someone as impressive, as doing an impression.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all remember The Rock one. And then there was the Cena, which was just absolutely fire. With all the Tota Bella stuff. And this was right up there with them. And I think we're just going to see The Miz do his job and put over yet another face as only The Miz can.
Yeah, it's been interesting, right? Because this feud is technically cross-brand, but we've actually also done it a lot without either person jumping over to the other brand. It has been obviously from a previous premium live event where there was crossover stuff, and now we're just keeping it propped up with storytelling and with the promos that these guys are cutting, and they're doing pretty darn well at it. As you say, The Miz is a great impressionist. LA Knight ain't bad either. And I think you're right. LA Knight is got the rocket on him. He's moving up in the card. The Miz, that solid gatekeeper to the upper mid card. It seems like a pretty easy slam dunk on this one. Probably the most easy match of the night to sit down and predict.
Yeah. This is like the match where we don't even give the second person in the match a Dolph Ziggler. Because there is no rhyme for The Miz to go over LA.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, everything's gone off the rails, and there could very well be an actual riot by the fans.
What city is Payback in?
If this person is Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the whole if this person doesn't win, we riot thing might actually happen.
They might stick to their word this time. looking at other matches, we got one more non-title match, the culmination of a about 5-month feud now. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus started all the way back when Becky Lynch won the women's tag team titles with Lita. Trish attacks Lita, continues the feud, meant to be at SummerSlam, got our blow-off instead on a Raw, and now we get a rematch in a steel cage, mano a mano.
Honestly, this has not been a good. And I think, and that's no fault to the two ladies. They've done everything they can. Just no chemistry.
Mhm.
I think that's another chalk on the Charlotte is the best of all time board, because Charlotte versus Trish was amazing, but this has not been a good set of matches. Not been a good set. And I will be glad for it to be over. I'm picking Becky to win. It's a steel cage match, but that Zoe Stark's going to get involved, because a steel cage does not prevent anybody from interfering. But I think Becky wins, and then she starts setting her sights on either the NXT Championship or Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I definitely think this match is where Becky Lynch goes over. As you say, Zoe Stark will poke her nose in. It'll get to a 2-on-1 situation, but ultimately, if this is the end of Trish Stratus's little comeback run, it doesn't make sense for her to go over Becky here. Becky needs that little bit of momentum, whatever of a slingshot she can get out of this feud. I'm not as negative on it, I guess, as you, but it has definitely overstayed its welcome. I think that it needed to be wrapped up a little bit early, and it has completely suffered from start-stop. The reason we look at the Bloodline storyline, and we can go 5 months back and we can go, well, what's happened in 5 months from then until now? And we can talk about how it's evolved and how, Jey Uso's done this bit, or like Sami Zayn's come, he's gone. I look at the Becky Lynch Trish Stratus feud, and I look 5 months back and I compare it to now, and we're in basically the exact same position. We haven't moved, we haven't evolved. It has just been the same one note, which is Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus with Zoe Stark dangling off the back. And that's been it. It hasn't really escalated, it hasn't crescendoed, it hasn't had turns in the story. It's just been very flat, and I think that's severely suffered from them not being able to finish it up a month ago. Anything they've done afterwards has kind of just been stalling. I would have rathered this being cut in half and we got two different Trish Stratus feuds or storylines while she was here for her run than just one long Becky Lynch one. Sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses. And I'll wait and see how the steel cage match goes, but I think we might have whiffed on this one. Well, we didn't whiff, but hey, we weren't swinging. We're not even at the ball game. Staying in the women's division, the Women's World Championship is on the line. Rhea Ripley with her toughest competitor yet, Raquel Rodriguez, standing across the ring from her.
This should be a really good match between two powerhouses for the women's division. Yeah, because Rhea's no slouch. There's a reason why she's basically the enforcer of Judgment. But Raquel Rodriguez is basically the strongest woman. I think this is going to come down to they're going to find some way to screw Rick. I don't think, as much as I think she would be a great champion, I don't think they're ready for Rhea to lose. So I think she loses, and I think it'll be a dirty finish, which will give Raquel a reason later on to maybe take another shot at the title, assuming Rhea doesn't lose it to somebody else, and then maybe that's when she gets it.
Yeah, if we are overall, and we'll talk about the Judgment Day when we get to the main event later on, but if the storyline of the Judgment Day is that there is a weak link because they don't have a championship or a briefcase, that does kind of lock up both an NXT North American title on Dom and does lock up the Women's World Championship here on Rhea Ripley. I think you're right. This is probably the best strength-for-strength competitor that Rhea could go up against. Different circumstances at a different point in Rhea Ripley's title run. Definitely think Raquel could grab the championship and run with it, especially with the two for both brands. Just where we are with the Judgment Day, it makes the most sense for Rhea Ripley to keep a hold of it, continue being that power couple with Dom while he's got his title. Raquel Rodriguez still can get her revenge for Liv Morgan, still put on a good match, just ultimately not raise the gold at the end of it. I agree, 100% going to be a dirty finish. Got to give her a shot down the line. You know, it's the first match, potentially of a feud, or at least the first collision of these two if they're going to collide 3-4 months down the line. Not going to give away a nice clean Rhea Ripley win for sure. There will be something that happens.
Yeah, I honestly think that there is a strong chance Raquel Rodriguez wins. She's definitely one of the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's just a matter of playing into the overall storyline. This pay-per-view might as well be called Judgment Day, because it's basically all about them.
The poster's all about them too. Hell, throw an NXT North American Championship match on the card. Why not? Round it all out. We got time for one more match before we go to our entrance theme, so let's talk about a different Mysterio, one of which who's not in the Judgment Day, but is still in a crumbling faction, Rey Mysterio taking on Austin Theory for the United States Championship.
This match is interesting. Honestly, they just switched the titles. It wouldn't surprise me if they switched them back. Because honestly, it feels like Austin Theory should never have lost the titles to begin with. But it happened. It's the whole storyline with everything that they've been doing with the LWO and with Austin Theory and his cronies been pretty good. I could see Rey retaining. In fact, I would prefer it because I have an idea for something that they could do for Survivor Series. With Rey holding the U.S. Championship. So, I think Rey retains, but nothing would surprise me with this match.
Yeah, this one's 50-50 down the middle for me. There's been a lot of players involved in this United States scene at the moment. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Rey Mysterio, the rest of the LWO. And obviously I think that with Rey Mysterio leapfrogging his way into the number one contendership, that is still your storyline sitting there. Does it need the championship on the line? Possibly not. So, you know, you could have him screw Rey out of the title and have Austin take it back, but that just feels a little too hot potato-y for me. You can still have LA Knight, Austin Theory as a feud without the title. You know, where we did predict, you know, a couple months ago that LA Knight was going to be going after that United States Championship. A little bit hard for him to do it if it's tied up in a Mysterio LWO feud. And I wouldn't want him to get in there and to mess with that if, you know, we just hot potato the title to Rey and then we hot potato the title on over again to LWO or whoever ends up taking it, then over to LA Knight again. So I don't know. I see Rey retaining is probably the best for everybody kind of outcome. But if Austin Theory does recapture his title, I don't think he's holding it for long. I think his days will be numbered if he does recapture it.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll go over what my idea is.
Shoot.
Because it would be involved some nuclear heat.
Okay.
Rey as the United States champion versus the Intercontinental champion Dominic Mysterio.
Good luck.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I would call for, right after Gunther breaks the record, I don't know how, because with Dominic, it doesn't matter with alignments. Whoever he faces is a face. So, they get him a match for the Intercontinental Championship after he's dropped the North American. And thanks to Rhea and the Judgment Day, assuming they're still a thing, he takes the title from Gunther in some really dirty way.
Mhm.
And then you have him with the title getting the glory of beating the guy that broke the record. And then you have him face his dad at Survivor Series in match number 2. And then he wins there, and then you get match number 3 at WrestleMania.
You said you had a crazy plan. I agree. You do have a very crazy plan here. I'm not going against it. Anything. I'll see how it all plays out. I do think a lot of dominoes need to fall into place for everything to happen there, but let's wait and see. The Judgment Day are one of the hottest things right now in WWE TV.
And plus, it would just be amazing to see Judgment Day with all the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And just not having and I'm not referring to just throwing in the NXT North American Championship. I'm throwing all of Raw's gold.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about another chance for them to capture gold on the other side of our entrance theme, which this week is continuing the theme of the show, and will be none other than Bray Wyatt's entrance theme. And you're back to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MPR. I'm Grady, he's Josh. Just before we get to that Judgment Day match, we do have one more World Heavyweight Championship defense. Seth Rollins coming in with the belt, going up against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. I think this was actually going to be the main event. I think the tag title match, I think it's going to go on.
It's not the main event in my heart.
I think because I think there is a strong chance of a cash-in. And I think that has to happen after the tag match.
Fair enough.
I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I think this may be the moment when Seth Rollins bites off a bit more than he can chew with this title. I don't think Shinsuke wins, but I think he further damages Seth, and possibly snaps after the match is over and takes out Seth Rollins, which allows for a cash. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic match. Two of the best in the business, period. I would love Shinsuke to win the title because I think he deserves at least a short run, but I'm just not sure of it. So I'll go with Seth winning and then losing the title to Damian.
Yeah, it feels like we're going to predict a cash-in at every single premium live event between now and the cash-in. But yeah, I think this is a good change of pace, especially since we've had so many Seth Rollins Finn Balor matches. Detach Seth for however long it happens to be, 10 minutes away from the Judgment Day if there is truly a cash-in. I don't know if this will be one and done or if this will be something of a little bit of a feud between these two. We'll have to wait and see. They're going to bring the best out of each other for sure. Banger of a match predicted for sure. I'm with you. I'm sort of tossing up. There is a chance that we let Shinsuke Nakamura run with the belt for a little while. He definitely deserves it. But again, very similar to the Women's World Championship, there is a storyline going on right now that involves the Judgment Day, and that does kind of run a whole lot of the Raw side of things. And so Shinsuke might just be, the right place at the wrong time and might not be able to capture that championship because we are just waiting for a certain briefcase to be run down to the ring and handed over to a referee. And that certain briefcase is held by none other than Damian Priest, who alongside his Judgment Day buddy, who has failed multiple times to capture the World Heavyweight Championship, Finn Balor, will be going up against the often injured Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a street fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships.
Yep. And this is part of why I am so certain certain that I think the cash-in happens is because I think the Judgment Day loses.
Okay.
I
I left this one till last because I know we differ on opinion on this match.
Yeah, I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wins here. I think they retain. I think that to keep him, because Rhea has put in if we don't get additional gold to the group, there are going to be changes. And I think Finn takes the loss, and I think Damian ends up becoming the world champion, and then they kick Finn out, and he goes to JD.
I'm gonna go with the reverse. I think Finn Balor, Damian Priest have a chance of picking up the tag team championships here. It's not like Owens and Zayn have done a whole lot since holding them themselves. I'm still a big proponent of splitting the belts up into Raw and SmackDown. And given that Finn Balor does still have his duo-ship with JD floating around, could make JD quite jealous if Finn Balor picks up a tag team victory, a tag team championship run with somebody else. It keeps Damian Priest's Money in the Bank briefcase safe a little bit longer because he won't be cashing it in anytime soon, and stops the Judgment Day from entirely exploding this week. But it does feel like it's putting a band-aid on a bullet hole, and just sort of kicking the can down the road a little bit when it comes to the Judgment Day. And I sort of like that bit of concept there where you know they're about to explode, but we caught them just before they did. They did that one last action that could save them from total and utter annihilation, which was winning the tag team championships. And then as soon as they lose them, they entirely explode, or prior to then, especially if War Games is coming up at Survivor Series. Maybe something to try and delay the Judgment Day out until, or split them up closer to WrestleMania, which is coming up in what? I can't do math quick enough. 4 and 4, 8 months, 7 months out.
Roughly about 6.
Yeah, we got the Rumble coming up in what, 5, 6 as well. So there's plenty of big pay-per-view opportunities. But yeah, there's a few different ways the storyline can go. Obviously, you've got one way, a loss leading to a Priest cash-in, leading to a breakup with Finn Balor being booted. There is a slight chance that Damian Priest could be the one that ends up getting booted. There's my outcome where, they win the tag titles and they hold on just a little bit longer. With the Bloodline being where they are in their storyline at the moment, I do think the Judgment Day is one of the best storylines currently running, just because the Bloodline are on a bit of a pauser right at the moment. And yeah, I look forward every week to see what happens from them, whether it's JD, whether it's Balor, whether it's Rhea just dominating everybody, or whether it's just Dom with a poop-eating grin on his face. I'll kind of take it all right now. That was a mouthful. I'm out of breath. I talked for so long. Well, to go over to NXT, because we got like a minute left. Just a note, we had our Fatal 4-Way match to determine the number 1 contendership for the Women's Championship. Gigi Dolan, Roxanne Perez, and Blair Davenport all on the losing side, as we see Kiana James actually have a bit of a breakout victory. And we'll be seeing Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James.
Yeah, definitely an unexpected person in that match.
I would have given her the 4th out of 4 chance to win.
They definitely don't want to do Roxanne Perez Stratton anytime soon. So that makes sense. And Perez and Davenport have been having issues of late. So it kind of makes sense they would cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of only makes sense that it could only have been Kiana. Because Gigi's the same alignment as Stratton. So, yeah, we should have seen it coming.
Yeah. It was written right in front of our faces and we still didn't read it. And then just another thing as well, just to note before we run away from NXT, Steel Cage match opening the show, the Creed brothers getting reinstated in NXT. Despite, Brutus getting carried off by some masked Schism members, Julius getting a real showing there. ultimately it looks like Schism gets taken down and the Creeds stand tall.
Yeah, there's definitely seems to be some friction among Schism, too. Because Ava left after the loss. And yeah, it is kind of sad. You have all these numbers against them, and you basically have like a 4-on-1 and you lose.
Yeah. It is possible that the Dyad are still heading out. You know, there was those rumors a while ago about their contracts coming up and them wanting out. Maybe this is the conclusion to this feud and it's those two riding off into the sunset.
Possible.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens as NXT heats up. They've also got their Global Heritage Invitational, which we don't have time for, and number one contendership over the NXT North American Championship also. There's a bit of contention there. But we'll have to get to those next week with the results from Payback as well, because for this week we have run out of time. It's been great talking to you.
Maybe.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestling R&D up, our Twitter page, twitter.com/wrestling RND up, and our YouTube page, youtube.com/wrestling RND up. And we will catch you next week.